have this presumptions as what you were saying. You have your child, and there's immediately, oh, he's saying he has to be the next Mike Tyson, as it were, or whatever. GSP.
Yeah, that's what I tell them.
And you actually go with an immediate suspension of disbelief. You go, no.
Yeah.
Which is probably the smartest thing.
Yeah.
I have the same with my little cousin. I go, because he's a bit timid at times. And I started training now recently,
Yeah.
He's 6, 7, and he's a bit timid. He's a bit nerdy. Likes to read a lot of stuff. And I'm like, yeah. But look at those guys fighting. And then he's like, like, do you want to do that? A part of me, yes. Other parts, no.
It's like that. But having a lot of that.
I'm not good. That means if you want to do it, you go do it.
Yeah.
When you don't want to do it, you don't do it.
Exactly.
And that's what I told him. And ever since he wants to train, before he was a bit scared. Because now he realizes, oh, I choose. It's my choice.
It's your choice. And that's what I say to my son. He goes, because I'm going to compete in this because you see other kids competing.
Yeah.
Now, look, you don't compete because other kids are competing. Do you see the necessity? I think to get better, because competition somehow, and remember we said two ways of competing, right?
Exactly.
So the competition somehow will help you to improve. I think, yes, you have to compete at least to get better, but you're doing it for yourself because you want to get better, not to prove anything to me.
Exactly.
Not to, because he thinks he when I no longer teach or when I die, whatever, the gym will be, for him.
He has to follow in his father's footsteps.
Say, you don't need to.
No,
we can sell this gym and you're going to do whatever you decide. Let's say, if you want to be a doctor, especially in America, man, you can be anything you want.
If you can get an education, definitely.
Right? I say, especially in this country, you can be anything you want. I met some people in Brazil, from Brazil, in the Italian restaurant that I was talking in Florence, right? And the guys were asking me because the funny thing, I saw a lady speaking Portuguese. I told her, "Oh, but you're Brazilian?" She goes, "Yes." We talked a little bit, and then she asked where I was from, and then I said the city I grew up, Ribeirão Preto, right? And then a guy overheard, "Oh, I am from there too. I've been with a group of 10 people. Come here, let's So we went. I went there with the group and talked to the guys, and then they
small world,
yeah. And then we have this guy in Brazil in the town that is our friend. I know him, right? So I started talking to him. And then they send a picture, and the guy immediately responds because at the time he responded, "Yeah, we know each other." I'm like, "Oh, send that," and I'll tell him I say hello and all this stuff. So we were talking, and then somehow the conversation went, on the competitive way. Who is good? Who can you do good? And I said, are the Brazilians better still than the Americans and all this? I said, I don't know. I think this all depends on, that is not nationality now anymore. It's the amount of time that you can or want to put into the sport, right? But one thing is for sure, in Brazil, some of these kids, we were talking to because of the, these problems of, child molesting and what's happening now in Brazil, in the jiu-jitsu. And then, I feel, and I said about my, why this is all happening, right? I can't share here that, but, and then I told them, one guy came to my gym. He did a world championship. I think was from the team Cicero Costa. Iago, his name. Good guy, good technique. He, did the world championship and then went to my place to do a seminar there. And then he goes and points some guys. These guys are good. Why they don't compete? And then I go, look, in Brazil, we have to compete because some of our kids are coming from a tough neighborhood.
You need to make a name.
You need to make a name, and that's your only way. It's the only way. Here in America, if you have the same amount that you put in jiu-jitsu, you could be a doctor. You could be anything.
Business or whatever. Pilot.
But in Brazil, in Brazil, if you're born poor, you're not going to be a doctor. Odds are you're not going to be a doctor.
I had one of the Russian guys tell me that as well. He's like, you have to understand, man, in this country, if you're from here, you don't have options.
You don't have options.
You either become world champion or you're a farmer.
Yeah.
You pick potatoes. Those are my options. He's like, so that's why
You try the other one.
Yeah.
I
I don't want to pick potatoes.
So the plan B would be potatoes if you don't want.
Exactly.
So in the United States, they have so much like all the plants. I mean, it's good. Can be good and bad, but it's good.
It creates that competition that we were talking about.
And if the guy decides, for example, in judo, right, that is not many Americans compared to Brazilians that, super good. But those who decide to be good, they're good. Why? Because they could be doctors. They could be anything.
Just
They decide to be judo players, which is not a mainstream sport.
Yeah. I mean, you're a judo black belt, you know a lot more about it than I do. But yeah, look at the recent fight, Ronda Rousey. Just the demo she did before, because the fight was over in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But the demo she did, she was just doing a judo, and I'm like, wait, she's 40 something, and she's doing this.
The move, yeah, good.
I'm like, if she would show up at my gym, she'd probably spin all the guys around, literally.
Yeah.
That's how good she looks on there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's amazing to see.
Yeah.
But it also shows they have really high level, as you just said. But she could have indeed been anything else, right?
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything else.
Yeah. But I also think like you still have that grittiness.
Yeah.
Like you were born in a different environment than me to a degree, because I grew up relatively rough and Britain to a degree, but not on the Brazilian favela, whatever the hell level is. I think different ball game entirely. But it also creates a different mindset in how you evolve as a human being, and of course then a fighter.
Gordo, my teacher, right? I started with Gordo for a few months. I was moving to Sao Paulo. You know the story, right?
Yeah.
Moving to Sao Paulo, he goes, go train with this guy.
Yeah.
Turns out to be high-end racing.
Yeah.
I always had great relationship with Gordo. Since he was all very, as I was coming up with the belts, he was always involved. Oh, how is Renato? Even though I trained a few months with him, just him, right? But exactly, staying on. Fast forward is close to 30 years now. We always, talking, and matter of fact, I need to send him a text message. It's been a while, like I'm just checking on him. So we always been, and then he said this story, right? A friend of his, someone that he knows, got a good, like decent, wealthy in Brazil, said, "Oh, I want my son to, toughen up a little bit, do some jiu-jitsu, learn some jiu-jitsu, and maybe do some competitions." And then, okay, he goes, "Oh, wait, well, what do you want? Want him to learn jiu-jitsu? Or you want him to compete?" He goes, "Oh, kind of both." Well, yes, he can do both, but if you think that if you want him to learn jiu-jitsu, that is a very good gym here. And then he said, you can learn, you will learn jiu-jitsu, but if you want to compete, then you have to go to a favela. You have to train at the social project there where the tougher kids are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because then you get tough.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how you really learn.
Yeah. Right? I mean, not kids. I mean, not talk 9 and 12, 14 with the age, right? And we start, right? We start getting serious, 12, 14. We start getting serious, right?
Yeah.
So
it depends what game you want to play.
Yeah.
If I say to a chef cook, I want to learn how to cook and I want to do it professionally versus I just want to know how to make a proper steak here, there's a huge difference. Huge difference. So why wouldn't it be the same in any other?
Exactly. Right. So yeah, you can learn. That's it. And then so that's this component that sometimes people not aware of.
No, they see it as this one holistic thing. When you train, you automatically compete or something. Or yeah.
Of course, you want to try to perform. And I mean, those two. I think I put it down. Those two observations. The put it how you say either competing outside or compete in your gym, right? Like, but the days that okay, guys, we all agree we're going to count points now. We will do a little competition here, but in Japanese, they call the shiai.
Yeah.
But everyone agrees. Okay. Everyone's going, oh, I'm not ready to go hard today. I just, good. It's okay. Just do the drills on the side.
It's a bit like the sparring session after a normal jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah.
If I'm injured, I'm probably going to do the class if I can, but I'm probably not going to spar with my knee blown out or something like that. It's a bit similar, but then on a week basis to a degree, or I'm
Yeah.
not saying. Yeah, so very similar vibe. But I think if you look at, again, with my boxing analogy, from people misunderstand, I think. Like, if you got injured 200 years ago, good luck.
Yeah.
Seriously, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have antibiotics even, so
No. Yeah.
we had some good natural remedies and not discounting natural medicines and all that stuff. But I'm saying that we underestimate, if you got kicked in the face by some karate expert in Okinawa in 1820, you knew your head was going to fall off.
Yeah.
Basically. So that's why they had these training regimes in place.
Yeah.
If you look at Japanese culture in and of itself, that late Netflix series Shogun depicts that in a. I'm not that big of a fan, especially if you look at historical accuracy. But who am I to judge? But what they do depict is the vulnerability. Like, everyone around you is a trained samurai warrior with swords that can kill you at any possible. It's a bit like swimming with crocodiles.
Yeah.
You have to be very aware of where you're at. And any small mistake is a bomb, a nuke almost. And because of that culture where death could be imminent and very explosive, it became so refined. You had to say a bow to the master and a this.
Yeah.
And it's because of that, because there was danger and chaos, that they became so almost over cultivated.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Over cultivated. Yes. Yeah. Then again, everything is, the bowing, right? So in our gym, my gym is, I try to become very to stay very traditional. So that is the bow, and we don't bow to to the pictures. We don't have pictures of our bow. We bow to each other, which in many ways I said, because the word bowing in English,
it's not really bowing, but yeah,
exactly, in English has this connotation of
surrender, right?
Surrender, yes, right.
You bow to the king.
Yeah, in Portuguese, there is two connotations, right? And then very often martial arts is not the surrendering. Is actually to say hello, to salute.
Yeah.
So we will bow to each other to say salute. Because we show respect to each other. Like when I walk in here, I'm gonna say hello to you. I'm sure I'm not just gonna walk here.
It's the same thing.
I tell to my son, you go to his friend's house, make sure you say hello to the dad and to the mom, and thank you for allowing you to be there. Yeah. Don't be just a kid who, screaming that doesn't say anything, right?
I forget where I was, but somewhere in Northern Europe in a gym, and I saw this guy, older guy, gray hair, long gray hair, and before he went on the mat, he sort of bowed to the mat. And you sometimes see people do that.
Yeah,
it's not rare.
Very traditional.
Exactly. Yeah. But with him, you could tell that it's this old guy who's probably 60 or something. Yeah. And you could tell that he's been doing this for 50 years. For him, it was his ritual. And I was like, wow, cool. Because you could tell, he was doing this for the respect of the martial arts.
Yes.
To a degree. You bow to the mat.
To the mat.
Not to a person, to the mat.
I have a very opinion.
Powerful.
It's powerful, yeah. It's powerful, but and then leads up also to
bowing to the picture of someone.
Idolatry,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So idolatria, like they say in Portuguese, right? So now, and then the coach feels like it leads to that too, which in many ways is just,
oh no,
yeah. Well, sorry, I called you coach, you're professor. You know what professor means? Professor means teacher in Portuguese. Yeah. A PhD in the university, but in Portuguese, professor means teacher.
See, in French.
Yeah.
Professeur.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it a regular school? In English, there is another connotation, the professor, the PhD guy who is, right? That's a different story. So so by no means here, because I had to explain this in America or in Germany, you apparently can't call anyone professor unless they're a professor, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and they're more strict with that.
In Belgium and Dutch as well.
Yeah. So, Professor Renato, well, you're a professor of what? I remember my mom saying to me, well, I'm not a professor the way you think, but the word professor. Okay. That's why a woman you wouldn't call professor, let's say Vanessa. No, it's professora, because we are using a Portuguese word.
It means teacher in your
language. In my language, since it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like sensei means teacher.
Yeah.
Right? So Oh, okay. Oh, why do we bow? We bow because the kids are playing around. We have the rec room. Okay. And then when we bow is the reset. Now we stop.
Exactly.
We don't bow home.
The lineup, it's the
Yeah,
same thing.
idolatry. Yeah, and I,
No,
this,
the
right?
lineup is the
The
same
lineup,
thing.
guys, let's line up. Now we start. Okay, you were playing on it. And very often we have to remind that you were playing on there. Now the game stop at a certain degree. You still can talk to your friend, but it's not going to be,
It's the transition protocol.
exactly. So now we
Yeah.
bow to say hello to each other. Hello to each other.
Yeah.
You know, which in Japanese they're gonna say otagai ni rei.
Yeah.
Right? So bow to each other. You can see sensei ni rei, right? And bow to the sensei or to the picture, the shomen ni rei, right?
It's very old school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So they would do that, but I mean, for us, it's just otagai ni rei. We say hello to each other. We bow.
That's more, yeah.
All right, more. I try to put more Western, although with the tradition. But hey, no phones on the mat.
Okay.
No phones on the mat. Keep your phone because now while you're recording your sparring session, so you can post, no phones on the mat.
Okay.
Yeah, what we do here, no phones on the mat. We don't, right? Oh, but then, all right, if you want to drill yourself and then
if you want to film and do it after the class.
Let's say, can I record me and you rolling? Yeah, now you know. But you're not having a phone on the mat. No phones on the mat. And many people don't want to be in my gym because of that. I said, that's cool.
No problem.
I just said, I have
There's enough gyms.
exactly. I said I have close to 500 students. I could have 700 if I succumb to this demands. I just no. I fire people all the time. A lady came in and said, "Look, in this part of the waiver here, that is, it says that you because I record, right? And by the way, I have some people recording for me now because I can't do all this.
Of course, yeah.
So I have some kids recording for me, and I say, don't stay 2-3 seconds in one person. It's just a little bit. We record. Yes. Yeah. Don't stay there. That's
moving image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't want to be okay. If it is, then it's me because
you're profiling. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Otherwise, the person doesn't feel confident. Don't be there. Right.
No, but I agree. Like a phone has actually very little to do with martial art. If you look at it recently, it actually has nothing to do with it. It can be a good educational tool, just like a book.
Exactly.
But usually you don't bring your book to the mat.
Exactly. 100%.
So, and I get it. I mean, I'm in media, obviously. So yeah, you do shoot some reels. You can make a time and a place for that to a degree.
100%. Right. So, a bunch of little rules and stuff, right? Like a no gi. You just cannot come with especially for a woman, with the spats, just the spats only got to put a shorts on top.
But you have a lot of American gyms that say that.
Yeah.
Pretty normal now. Yeah.
You cannot train with just the top bra. You need the rash guard t-shirt, right? And you need
just everyone wears
exactly. What I'm trying to do is keep the environment safe.
Yeah.
You don't agree. I just saw a girl, I don't know, probably she was doing something for like OnlyFans stuff. My first jiu-jitsu class, and then she comes with just beautiful looking, right? Boom. Calls attention of everyone, and then why this? Why we want to bring this to the
it's
to the mat that for me is sacred. My living comes from this.
Yeah.
My kids living.
It's your church.
Yes.
No, but I get it.
Anyways, right?
I get it.
Why?
No, but of course, yeah.
We need to set boundaries.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it becomes like, of course, there are some people, like we were saying, many people are not watching that I know of are not watching any longer UFC because became away from the martial arts. Like you were saying, Pride, everyone was quiet. Now they kill and throw the bottle, throw the beer, and right? Is people who just unfortunately became sometimes
it's a spectator sport.
Yeah.
From a purist sport to a spectator sport. Yeah.
Could change. It still could change. You can still, like I remember UFC doing because when UFC started growing, they were doing some videos in the middle of between the fights to explain this is the armbar because people didn't know. Oh, this is a choke.
Yeah.
We still can teach people. We still can do that. Like, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a major thing of martial arts.
I also think one of the reasons that the UFC started with UFC BJJ is not only because they saw a market that they could corner that's growing exponentially, but also because they saw that the jiu-jitsu is still a very big part of MMA.
Yeah.
And this is a way to shine a light on it directly.
Yeah.
For the purists.
Yeah, for the purists, exactly.
For now, I can guarantee you that the UFC BJJ audience is very likely not the UFC audience too much.
No.
It's more niche, I would presume.
It is.
And that proves what we're saying here. Yeah. And also, look at the recent UFC fights. Hamzat versus Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, what did you see? Everyone calls it wrestling. It is wrestling, but I saw a lot of things in there. You know, that can be called different things.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure you can put judo terminology on some of it. Jiu-jitsu terminology, wrestling terminology, MMA terminology. You could probably take it back to old school katas. But my point is that I'm seeing to this day that it can be very dominant once you get a hold of the guy and once you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they all say the wrestler takes it to or has the option to take it to the ground. He decides. Well, now we saw that's not necessarily true per definition.
Mm-hmm.
But then people underestimate a guy like Strickland because he publicly threw away his black belt in a garbage bin somewhere, and he said F jiu-jitsu.
No, mainly because of the politics that he probably experienced.
Exactly. But people underestimate that the guy did have a black belt, right?
Yes, exactly.
And he did a lot of wrestling as well. I know that. So my point is that it's still a very big part of what MMA is today.
It is. I mean, MMA,
a gesture, right?
Yeah, a risk to say. If you're a pure jiu-jitsu guy,
no.
Yeah, right. Back in the day was. If a pure jiu-jitsu guy, you find
back in the day, it was style versus style.
Yeah, but now you cannot not know jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
The guy's boxer or a kickboxer, right, or a wrestler, then you have to know jiu-jitsu.
Basics, at least,
or how to escape and all this, and you have to know. So jiu-jitsu became something like a boxer has, a kickboxer has, a wrestler has, but cannot just be one thing, right? I cannot just go there as a pure jiu-jitsu guy, and especially how jiu-jitsu it is too, very sportive nowadays, and in different situations, right? Different guards that when punches are allowed, it wouldn't work, right? So it's just the pure jiu-jitsu guy, the nowadays guy is hard. Back in the day, the pure jiu-jitsu guy would be a bit of the combat sambo guy. He would know how to punch.
I was trying to say, because I think the way you learned, if you went in Heron's gym, you probably will get punched in the face as well, right? Back in those days?
Yeah. So that is a component of punch, but I just posted a video. Come up for our jiu-jitsu class, right? We offer a 2 weeks free, 2 weeks free, and then the guys were punching, and then someone comment, there is no punch in jiu-jitsu. There are no punch in jiu-jitsu. Well, but we punch here. We teach people how to punch, duck, under, do that stuff, defend from punching, clinch, right? We still teach,
And also, you know more about this than me, likely, but jiu-jitsu means gentle art. It doesn't say no hands, no slapping. It just says gentle art. And the gentleness, the word gentle, as far as I can tell, comes from not having a weapon anymore. They said you use jiu-jitsu when you lose your sword.
Yes.
And jiu-jitsu means you either know what to do without a sword, you need to be able to defend yourself, or the second part, and that's now mostly forgotten, even Kanto didn't write that down because he wasn't interested in battle techniques too much, is that you need to be able to take your opponent's sword. That was a very important part of it. So the gentle art was with your hands, defend yourself. If your opponent has a weapon, you have to be able to take it.
Yes.
So these two big elements.
Yeah.
And I think if your opponent, the punch is the weapon, you have to be able to duck under it.
Exactly. Know how to.
Yeah. It's the same logic applies.
Same.
But would you think, in your observation, as someone who's been in the sport, in the martial art, for this certain, you've seen it grow, right?
Yes.
You've been there, front row seat, basically.
Yes.
Because you have these two elements of it. You can say, okay, you have these new things that are developing, new guards that we see, new names. Let's not go into names and ways of teaching and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is, I see two things. I see, of course, everyone is going with new things and they're evolving, and
And that's something that we did with this International Jiu-Jitsu Association that we have now, right? This MJJA.
yes,
With all my students around, we are standardizing the names too. So just okay, you could know all the other names for the same thing, but we are trying to keep it standard.
Japanese names. Or
No, let's say, for example, no, the position of the leg lock is the 411, the honey hole.
oh yeah.
It's too many names for one thing.
Yes.
The same thing. We're gonna decide in one name only.
Yeah.
You know, so just to
So everyone on this,
everyone in the our system and will know, right? There's so much names for all
so
this
it's
stuff.
the language.
It's our language,
Yeah,
yes. So
yeah.
you know,
It's very important. But what I was going to say is,
that you sorry.
do you see it? Because I see it evolve. Jiu-Jitsu, if you look at CGI,
Yes,
ADCC, you see these really great matches. In UFC, you also see some really great matches. But at the same time, it sometimes tends to become too much sport jiu-jitsu, where it's almost more a sport than a martial art.
yeah,
And where, because I know bridging the gap here, what's the fine line in between? Because when you learn jiu-jitsu, it was normal to get punched. When I learned jiu-jitsu, it was very abnormal to be punched.
yeah.
And it's 20 years difference.
Yes. I think
It's a big difference. Though.
I think it's a big difference. I think it's a coach.
Mm.
You know,
By the way, I say that, but Antonio, if you're watching, I had Antonio slap me with foam fingers.
yeah.
He was like, the first thing you need to learn is to not flinch your eyes when I hit you with.
That's nice. Yeah.
But so I say I didn't learn with punching, but I did learn with the foam fingers.
Yes.
I'm a bit in the middle.
True, but it's and Antonio, you know, learned from Robin, and I'm sure you know,
Oh,
sure, no, that's the way it is. But of course, sometimes as a coach, and it's easy to succumb. Like people just want to come to jiu-jitsu, they don't want to turn. It's easy to. It's. I think it's up to us to stay, even though it could be an annoying part of the training or whatever, right? Although actually in my gym, a lot of people are liking the punches and stuff. You know, the component.
But you do sambo as well, right?
Yes, because now I mean, to me, well, I'm going to China now in July, and I'm gonna do this the Shuai Jiao, it's called, right? And
Wait, what is that?
it's the Chinese wrestling. They have
Yeah.
and then because you know, eventually we'll write this book about the different martial arts. I did
Good.
when I was in Kyrgyzstan. I went to the I've saying Alish, right?
Yeah,
and it's which is the belt wrestling.
I've been there. Yeah, I've seen it. I haven't done it, but I've seen it.
It's so many, just on the belt wrestling alone. There are so many versions of just the belt wrestling.
Turkey has a different one.
Yeah.
Greece does it slightly different.
Yeah,
I think if you go to Albania, it's
even like what is the name? Afghanistan has their own.
Of
And
course.
there's so many in the area with the belt. You know, then so the China, they have this Shuaijiao. In a part of China is called Inner Mongolia. They do what's called a Bok, right? Because it's with the influence of I probably pronouncing wrong, but influence with the Mongolian folks, and then they have the Bok from Mongolia, like more, which is even different clothing. You know, maybe probably here and there different rules. So you know, I like to you know experience the martial arts and right, and sambo was one of them, and I think sambo has so much related still with jiu-jitsu. Not the jiu-jitsu that we see it and only do the stuff, but it's so much because sambo takes everything, especially combat sambo. Right, anything can come, right. The sports sambo is very similar to judo. There are no chokes, but it's still the leg locks.
I think combat sambo is, I mean, it's one of those sports that delivers results.
Combat sambo today is the jiu-jitsu long time ago when we learned. We learned with punches and stuff. But again, all right, not every student wants to come and get punched. So slowly we cut and we go into sport jiu-jitsu or sport,
Sambo.
right?
Yeah.
To me, all those are the same. You have to take the guy
It's
down.
just the
You need to
name.
learn it. It's just the name, and the rules differ,
Sure.
and the culture behind differ.
But in essence,
For
like,
example,
if you take away rule sets
exactly,
and it's just the street,
and the culture, the people around,
exactly,
right?
then a
The-
takedown is a takedown.
For example, in Brazil, so for example, Merab,
Yeah.
right? You know, what is his,
He's
martial art?
Belgian.
Yeah,
He's
but do you know what his martial art?
judo then wrestling.
Judo, wrestling, and sambo too. He was
And
second
then
to that. Yeah. So sometimes
But all these guys,
but they do everything. That's the point.
Khabib,
They fight everything.
Islam,
Yeah,
they've all been in sambo competitions.
it's like they do everything.
Yeah.
Right. That's also a component of sambo. A bit of the story of sambo that they have, like, I don't know how many it was in the Soviet Union. I think it was 15 republics, right? If not more, or 21 is around those. So republics.
Must be around those
And
numbers. Yeah.
even one of them had one style of fighting, like their
Of
right.
course, yeah. To this day, you
Yeah,
can fight.
this is
Yeah.
Alish in Kyrgyzstan, Kuresh in Uzbekistan, in Kazakhstan, Chidaoba in Georgia. But and then when they create sambo, not only for the military of this new
Yeah.
nation that was being created, but also to unify all the
culture.
styles.
Yeah, the culture.
Yeah. So now if you fight Alish, you could fight sambo too.
Yeah.
Right? If you fight Chidaoba, you also could fight sambo. So people would fight him. For example, in Brazil, people are very attached to judo, and they know judo is the best, judo is the only thing. Like, now 20, 30 years later, some judo guys, or more, I would say, risk to say, I haven't been living in Brazil for 20 years, are joining jiu-jitsu. But why? Because jiu-jitsu commercially is better. You can sell more, but not because for the genuine purpose of let me learn a nice ground fighting. Right? Yeah. That's why I joined. Yeah. Now they're joining now because it sells more.
It's opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, right? So which is it's a shame, right? So you go, for example, I showed this fight Blanc, right? He's from Mongolia.
Yeah.
And the guy goes like, and I did this on purpose.
Also with the leather pants, right?
Yeah, right. So that, and then I showed to them, and they go, "Oh, this is judo." That's their mentality. I go, "Wow." With the exception that this has 2,000 years, and judo just 150.
Mm-hmm.
So what is what?
Yeah.
Right? In their mentality, this is judo, but judo is brand new.
Exactly.
This one is 2,000 years old.
Yeah, I had the same discussion with someone the other day who was talking about the Kimura lock.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but the Kimura lock, I can show you a Greek vase of 4,000 years old with a Kimura, or what we call Kimura lock.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the Greek guy didn't get it from Japan.
100%.
So,
and I think I mentioned the other times, like Kano didn't wake up one day and that are all the techniques. No, he learned from other styles, which learned.
He traveled, yeah.
He traveled, and that's what some. Now I believe it's the third person, but the two main guys who were responsible for sambo in Russia.
Oh, he's definitely.
Yeah, right. So
it's from his school, right?
Yeah. So one guy learned from Kano.
Exactly. Yeah.
The other guy, actually, they found out it was a guy who was traveling those republics and learning all the styles.
Yeah.
So they put these guys together to create sambo, which is sambo is an abbreviation for empty hands combat, something like this.
Self-defense.
Right? So that in the end is all the same.
Exactly.
In the end is all the same.
If you draw the lines back.
Yeah, at the end is all the same. So like if you are a fighter, you're supposed to fight. Unless, for example, if you do jiu-jitsu in a nice school that you learned how to, to do takedowns. Right? You have to learn some takedowns, at least a minimum. Although jiu-jitsu again is not going towards that. We just put in our butt.
But I completely agree. Right. I was rolling with a guy who's not a black belt yet, but he's definitely at that level. It's his own weird story where he doesn't have it yet. And he's like, I was surprised that you went stand up with me first. And I'm like, why? Like, I didn't ask him, but in my mind, I'm thinking, why? Yeah. It's like, if you're better than me, that's the first thing I need to learn. What am I going to
Yeah.
Sit down. I mean, depends what you want to practice. But if I just want to learn, I know you're better than me by definition in this martial art. Then why wouldn't I learn the most beneficial things first?
Yeah. And then,
like Occam razor approach.
knowing that, let's say you know takedowns, even if it's a jiu-jitsu guy, you know takedowns because you have been practiced good. You can fight wrestling. Maybe not the good, but you can fight wrestling.
Maybe not Khabib, but
Yeah, you can do some sambo competitions.
Yeah.
Because you're not the guy who just put your butt on the floor. You can do balk. And that's my thing. I'm going for this shuai jiao and stuff because I can. Maybe I'm not at a certain level. Well, no, maybe
no,
for sure because I'm almost 50 now. But
it's the experience.
I still can do. I still can do because I know how to throw someone or defending and stuff. And I'm sure I'm gonna learn so much stuff, right?
Yeah.
So and that's, I think that's the
It's
point.
the beauty of it as well.
Yeah.
It's the never-ending journey.
Never
right?
end. You
I
know.
was talking to Sam Alvey yesterday. He was saying about he's now doing English boxing.
Mhm.
I'm like, well, mate, you're 40-ish. Like you had 80 pro fights. Like, should you be doing English boxing just before you fight? That's what I was thinking. He said, I'm loving it so much. I'm like, that's what you want. You want a guy like that who's 40 to go, I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Still, right? So I was amazed by how he's, and I think that's the key. It's about keep rejuvenation going interpersonally.
Yeah.
With you, it went martial arts, academics, academies. It's about teaching, learning. But it's also about always finding not necessarily the new challenge, but a combination of challenge / experience.
Experience, exactly.
Yeah, I think that sort of centralizes this.
Yes.
Yeah. And on that bombshell,
Yes.
we can end this beautiful talk. Thank you for joining.
Yes. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Free audio post production.